last lecture, we did a small exercise where we calculated the quantity for concrete and excavation and steel for beam and slab, and then we tried to prepare a BOQ, okay, a mini BOQ, if you like to call it that. It was just to give you an idea about, yeah, you took the rates from ChatGPT or Google or something, but it gave you an idea about how the rates can change, okay, which activities are less expensive and which are more expensive, and also you had some practice about writing the BOQ. So that was the aim of that activity. Now we will move on to a very important item of quantity surveying, which is taking the measurements and taking off. Okay, I mentioned this word earlier as well. Who remembers? What does taking off mean? A plane takes off, right? It flies, right? Same? No? Then? Okay, taking off means what? Yes.
I think you take off you take the measurements from the drawings. That's what I
Yeah, something similar. Yes. She knows and she doesn't find a chair. See? The world is not fair. You can take this one if you want. No? Okay. Okay, so what we did last time was also taking off, sort of. Okay, but it was not in the standard manner. Okay, that was also taking off, but not in the standard manner. So, what is? So, what do we mean by measurements? Measurements means that you have some information on your drawings, and you transfer this information into a sheet from which you can calculate quantities. Okay, so drawings are showing different dimensions, right? Okay, so to take those dimensions, extract them, and put them in a sheet from where you can calculate the quantities. Okay, this is the main aim of measurement. Then, in order to calculate the cost of construction, we need to know two things, and we already mentioned both of them. One is quantity, the other one is quality. The cost of any item depends upon two things, quantity and quality. Okay, so you are measuring excavation in cubic meter, and concrete is also cubic meter. The units are same, but the materials are different, right? The work is different. Okay, so from where do I get the quantities? I need quantity and quality, right? So from where will I get the quantities? From no, you are preparing bill of quantities, right? So from where you will get the quantities? From drawings. Okay, quantity means measurements, right? Measurements, dimensions. So drawings. And quality is specifications. Okay, so you need both these items when you are calculating the cost, and the first one is from drawings. Okay, so measurement is the first point from which your cost calculation will begin. Somebody asks you about the cost of the project. Your first step is to go to the drawings and specification and start collecting those things from the drawings and specifications. Okay, so you can get accurate cost. Okay, measurements are involved in both stages, pre-contract as well as post-contract. Okay, pre-contract means I have not handed over the work to anyone. I did not decide who will do it. Okay, but in order to decide, I need what? How do we go from pre-contract to post-contract? We do what?
compare the prices.
Yeah. Okay, so how would somebody give you the prices if they don't know the?
From the BOQ.
Yeah, so they need the BOQ, the quantities, so they can give you their prices. Okay, so pre-contract is so I can provide them information to give me their quotations, right? Otherwise, they will not be able to give their quotations, okay? Or even if they give, they will not be accurate. You will have problems later on, conflicts later on, okay? So pre-contract work, pre-contract measurements help to find out the work required, okay? And then we have post-contract. Why do we need post-contract measurements? Why do I need to calculate quantities post-contract? Contract is already given. Do it. Why should I go into calculating BOQ again? Why?
What's the difference
Huh?
between pre and post?
Okay, to see the difference between pre and post. Maybe an item you mentioned in the pre-contract was mentioned cheaper, and now the contractor is spending more on it. Okay, so it tells you an idea about the cost control. How is he managing the budget? Anything else? Anything else?
Maybe the dimensions.
What about dimensions? Tell me.
Dimensions of the building itself. Maybe they could be different.
Yeah. So is he doing the work according to your given plan or not? Okay. So one is cost control, the other one is quality control. Okay. So you told him to cast a beam which is 0.5 meter deep and 200 millimeters wide, and he make it 400 millimeters deep. Okay. So he is not doing according to your plan. Okay. So post contract quantities help you do cost control as well as quality control. Okay. And this is the workflow, drawing the specifications, you extract the information, and then you prepare the bill of quantities. Okay. When the client is starting the project, he needs to know how much the project will cost, because he is supposed to pay, right? This is his main job. So he cannot assign any budget until he knows how much is required. Okay, so during the early design stages, the quantity surveyor will measure the quantities to produce a estimate of the budget. Okay. Then the quantity surveyor measures the completed drawings as well. Okay. So he is basically doing it twice as well. This is even before the design. Okay, so there are two types of pre-contracts. Okay, one is before the design, the other one is after the design. Got it? The work has not started yet, so both of them are pre-contract. Okay, but somebody comes and says, okay, I want to build a villa. Okay, and I can make it only ground. I can make it ground plus 1 or ground plus 2. I need to decide. Okay, I have this much money. Okay, so how will he decide? He needs some quantity, right? He needs to have an idea. Okay, so the first one is rough, raw, okay, not so accurate, just to give him an idea so he can decide. Okay, and then on the basis of that, he will go for the final design, because final design itself will take time and money. Okay, you tell him, okay, just do the design for ground plus 2, and we will see. If you don't have enough money, we will only do ground plus 1. But in order to do ground plus 2 design, he may have to spend 10,000 BD more for the consultant. Okay, got my point? Okay, clear now? And then you can think about the big projects as well, 20-story buildings and Burj Khalifa type projects. Okay, and the bridges we have. Okay, if you are in the government department, for example, if you are in the Ministry of Works, you have to decide, can we build a bridge over here or not. Okay, even the initial design of the bridge can take a lot of time and a lot of money, because bridge is something special. Okay. Now, by the way, just a feedback from the last meeting we had with our people from the industry. They said that they need a lot of people who are specialized in bridge design and these things. Okay, because you see they are building a lot of bridges here and in the other Middle East countries as well. So they said that. Sorry. In this course. Like we don't plan site visit for every course. Okay. Okay, we will have a site visit maybe. Okay, so we are trying to arrange the site visit. Okay, once it is arranged, I will invite you. Okay, that's it. Okay, then we have post contract to measure the variations of work and to prepare the interim payments, the intermediate payments. Okay, so you cannot tell the contractor do the work. Once you finish the work, I will give you all the payment. He will go bankrupt. Okay, you will not have that much money, 50,000-60,000 BD, and just wait for you to give the money. So he needs intermediate payments as well. So how do you give intermediate payment? Based upon his work. Okay, so that's why we do post contract measurements. Okay, then we have when you are doing the measurements and you are taking off quantities, you need to follow the standard methods of measurement. If you look into old books, okay, you will very easily find some Indian books which are very good. We used to learn from them. Okay, it was in Pakistan, so it doesn't matter. It was a long time ago. So you will see this term, SMM, okay, which is the standard method of measurement. And by the way, if you find like Indian books, you may not find the same terminology, but you will find lots of examples. Okay, like even solved examples as well. Like even the chapter may have 5-6 solved examples. Okay, so I have one. I don't remember. Maybe I already uploaded it. So in that book, you will see the chapter begins and ends with examples, calculations. Okay, so just to give you an idea. Okay. So what is SMM, standard method of measurement? It is a general term which is used for the protocol needed for producing the bill of quantities. Okay. So like I was in the last lecture, I was writing something on the board, right? Huh? So maybe you were writing something on your tablets and notepads and so on. Okay. That is not the standard method of writing it. Okay, so if you give this to someone, it will not be called as bill of quantities. Although it is showing the calculation, it is showing the quantities, everything, but it will not be called because you have to follow the standard methods. So it's a protocol you have to follow. Okay, and why we need to follow it? Because of consistency. Okay, because we need consistency. Okay, we need everybody to be giving us the same type of information. Okay, because in a project lots of people are involved, right? Okay, I asked this question a lot in the last course, right? 2019. Who are involved in a construction project? Tell me, if you are going through a construction project, who are the people who will be involved in the construction work? Geotechnical engineer. I don't know why, but okay, fine.
No contractor.
The contractor, yes.
Surveyors.
The guy who is selling cool coffee, yes.
Consultants.
Surveyors, consultants. Okay.
Apprentices.
Architecture.
Apprentice, very good. Next for yourself.
Architecture.
Architects, yes. Nobody knows what that is.
Architecture.
Yeah, sure, it's copy. Yes. Civil engineers, very good. And geotechnical engineers are not civil. And surveyors also not civil. That Professor Mustafa and Dr. Dano. Okay, what's your name? Yeah. Why I think that when we say geotechnical engineer, surveyor, it's not civil engineer, right? What?
He also said something.
No, who said surveyor?
Oh.
Anyways, the point is, there are lots of people involved. They can be from different backgrounds. Okay, so these are, I showed you one of the examples. Even if you miss one hook length, it can increase the cost more than 10-12%. Okay, so we cannot allow everybody to do this work according to their own way. Okay, you may start getting quantities of concrete in meter square because somebody thinks the slab has a constant depth, and somebody else may give you estimation in only depth. Okay, so we cannot allow this. Okay? We need all these people to be on the same page. And you can imagine how confusing it would be for anybody who will enter the construction project to understand the way of or method of everybody else. They are not following one method. Architect is showing something else, an engineer is showing something else in the same manner, surveyor is showing something else in the same in a different manner. Okay. So if I am the apprentice, I am the one who is getting training, it will be very difficult for me to understand him and him and him. But if all of them are following the same procedure, then it is easy for everybody, right? Okay. So the main aim of following the SMM, standard method of measurement, to have consistency in our quantities, our writing method, our calculations, and so on and so forth. You will see later on that even the calculations are done in a standard way. Okay. So you are doing plus 2 and then you do somewhere 2 upon 1 and so on and so forth. And somebody else is saying no, it is 2 upon 1, I can ignore it. No. Okay. Even something which is very obvious, we have to follow the standard method. Okay. So the main aim is to have no confusion, no difference. Okay. And this will make sure that you don't have any conflicts later on. Okay. Nobody can claim I wrote this. I wrote concrete quantity in meter square because I knew the depth is only 150 millimeters. Nobody can say this. No, if the depth was 150 millimeter, even then you should have calculated meter cube. This is a standard. Got it? Okay. So later on there will be no fighting, no conflicts based upon that. Okay. So SMM is a general term. Maybe in other countries they are having a different type of SMM. Okay. The one which is normally followed in GCC countries and in many countries of the world is the new rules of measurement. Okay, NRM. Okay, and the edition of this which we are following is the second edition. You can find second and first edition both. Second edition I already uploaded, but the first edition is also available and it is even now applied as well. And it is given by an institute, okay, Royal Institute of Cost Surveyors. Okay. By the way, this is, I believe, UK based, and if you go in some countries, they will offer you separate degree programs on quantity surveying only. So now you are doing civil engineering, right? Within civil engineering, there is one course which is quantity surveying. That's why they gave it to me. You can do in it, no problem. You have the whole program. Okay, they can still do something else. But in those programs, like from year 1 to year whatever, you are just studying quantity survey. Okay. So as I mentioned, UK based and used. Okay, a standard method of measurement provides you a structure. Okay, for the information that should be that should make up the description. So if I'm writing about concrete, okay, I will show you the examples later on. If I'm writing about concrete, the description of concrete, what are the things I should include in this description?
Sorry.
No, I'm not asking. Yes, relax. That's the problem with cold coffee, right? And summer. What happened? No? You're selling? Selling your phone? No? Okay. So, how to write the description of each item? Again, you have to follow the standard method so you do not miss anything. Okay. Unit of measurement, very important. Okay. Which thing will be measured in which units? Okay. What should be included in each item? So there are rules that you have to include this thing in the item and you can ignore this thing in the item. Okay. Like the hook length. Okay. So I told you when you are doing the stirrups, the quantity of stirrups, the bending can be ignored. But in beam, we don't ignore it because of the dia. Okay. So who is making up these rules? Me. Right? No, they are coming from me. They define the terms to avoid any disputes. Okay. So what means what? I showed you about concrete. Okay. That we write the concrete as C20/something something. Okay, what does it mean?
Strength and
Cement strength and
maximum.
aggregate size. Okay, so what does each thing means? It is from the standard method of measurements. So nobody cannot say that, nobody can say that if there was 20 written, I don't know what 20 means. So I took any value of strength. Okay, so you cannot do this. Okay, so what does taking off mean? Taking off means that you identify elements of construction works that need to be measured and priced. Okay, the elements of construction work has lot of elements. We don't need to calculate the quantities and do the costing for all of them. Okay, so for example, if you go to the site, you will see they make cabins for workers who are working on the site. They'll make cabins, they will have their water tanks and so on and so forth. Okay, so this thing is happening on the construction site, right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay, but we don't calculate the quantities for them. Okay, so taking off, you will identify the elements which need to be quantified and which need to be taken into consideration for costing, and these elements can be in any units, and the units are coming from where? You know, like which units to use. Like the type, how do I decide the type? From? Huh? No. So who tells me that this item should be measured in this units? Yes, okay. So SMM is a general term. SMM is general, the standard method of measurement. It has always been used like this. But now the modern SMM is what? NRM. Okay, so NRM is a type of SMM. Okay. So sources of information from where you can do this quantity estimation, it includes drawings. What type of drawings? We can have site plans, building plans. So what is the difference between a site plan and building plan? Anyone? The difference between a site plan and a building plan.
Site plan is before we build something. The building plan after we check everything is correct.
Okay.
So already
Anybody
there.
else?
The site plan focuses on the road and the whole area, but the building plan focuses on units.
Yeah. So yes, you can have site plan even before constructing the building or after constructing the building as well. But the details shown in the site plan are not the building rooms and foundations and these.
Site is bigger than the.
Site is usually bigger than this. Okay, and then you have sections, elevations, and all construction details, including the specifications as well. Okay, so this would provide all the essential information to a quantity surveyor, so he can do the taking off and fly. Okay, before carrying out this job, the quantity surveyor has to analyze the drawings and specifications. Okay, and he will prepare a list. Okay, so there is a planning for taking off as well. Okay, before you start doing your taking off, start getting your information and the calculations, you have to do something before this. Okay, what do you need to do? You open the drawings and specifications, something which you are doing for your term project side now. Okay, you are collecting what? What did I ask you? Collect what? Drawings, right? Okay, so once you collect the drawings, you should have a look at them. Okay, can I make sense of this? Can I see the numbers? Okay, do I know these numbers? Okay, is anything missing? So you are doing this, the first thing. Okay, and once you are satisfied, and I showed you an example in one of the lectures where the specification was not matching with the drawing. Okay, one was saying 100 millimeters, the other one was saying 200 millimeters. So if you find out anything like this, a conflict, what do you do? Yeah,
Matching the drawings and the specifications.
They are showing two different things, then what do you do? Drawing is showing one thing, specification is showing something else. So there is difference between them. Now where do you go? To the contractor? That is the designer. Okay. Okay, the person who did the design. Okay, contractor is who will do the job, right? And what else? Okay, so you have to analyze the drawings, they are complete and they don't have any conflicts. And once this is done, you will prepare a list of items for which you will do the quantities, okay, for which you will do the taking off, okay. And yeah, when you are preparing this list, you have to have the copy of SMM with you, okay. The type of SMM which you are applying in your country, you need to have a copy of that, because your list must match with the items in the SMM. Okay, so if there is something in your list which is not mentioned in the standard methods, so now you see the problem. The standard methods tell you how to measure it. Okay, so if I don't have it there, how will I measure it? Got it? Clear? Zara, clear? Very good. So, what is? Yeah. So there are specific sections in the SMM for each item. You have to go to that section and check it. So this list, after you prepare this list, it will act as a checklist, a reminder. So you will not miss any item. Okay, so when you prepare your BOQ, because you will have a BOQ, it could be 50 pages long. Okay, so if you don't have a checklist, you may miss something and nobody would know until the work is started. And when the work is started, you are already given the contract. Then the contractor will fight. I have an extra item. Your BOQ did not have it. Okay. Now some contractors are very naughty. They will say, okay, it's not in the BOQ, I will not do it. Okay. They will finish the project. You will know in the end, we didn't do this, and he will tell you it was not in your list. Okay. So that's why the list is important. And also helps you with the measurement process itself. Okay, so for example, this is a section of the NRM. What?
I thought this is the list of the taking off.
No. This is the list of for what now? You can see the list for substructure, the list for superstructure, and the list for, it's not the complete list, it's just I took just half of the page, okay, but just to give you an idea. The list of finishes, okay, it does not end here, by the way. So what is the difference between substructure and superstructure?
Under the ground.
What is under the ground?
It's like
Substructure is underground. Okay, so basically earthworks. We call them earthworks as well. You can see the items are mentioned there. Okay, their units are mentioned and their codes are mentioned. Okay, so it will help you that when you are mentioning them, you mention the code as well. So anybody can go back to the standard method and see which section should I look into. So code is like the section. Okay, so this is a very simple taking of list. Okay, and this is for the external wall finishes. Okay, so we have cement and sand plaster, which is done in what units? Meter square. Okay, then we have weather shield paint to the walls, again meter square, and then we have EO. I don't know.
For groove line.
For groove line. Okay, groove line is like the connection point. There is a gap somewhere, and then you are trying to fill the gap. So it's some sort of filling. Okay, filling like adhesive filling. Okay, so EO I don't know what is it. Anyways, so and this is the SMM. Now you can see they are not following NRM2. NRM2 is not SMM2. Okay, so they are following some other standard, and these are the codes from their standard. Okay, so but you can see they are mentioned here, and on top of the sheet they have mentioned for which element they are doing it. So this is all for external walls. Okay, are there any quantities here? No, why not? I didn't put any quantity. I'm just saying do this, do this, do this.
You have to use this to check.
Yes, this is just a checklist. Okay, so when somebody will start calculating quantities and he will reach external wall finishing, he has to include these 3 items in the quantities. Okay, so this is for that person to come back and see what he has to do. Okay, let's say you have a simple single story villa, okay, and it has a basement, and let's prepare a NRM list, checklist, sorry, taking off list for this item. So the item is only earthworks, okay, so substructure only, and it is for a single story villa which has a basement as well. I don't know why, but it has. Okay, like it has 1 story above and 1 story below. Balance. Okay, so again you will make the group. You know how the groups are made. Okay. But let's sit together. Go ahead. Okay. The files are there on the blackboard. Okay. And there's a file for NRM2. If you go to blackboard, you will see the file for NRM2. So you are doing it in groups, and one of you can open the file, rest of you can look at it. Okay. The sections which are related to substructure and earthworks. Okay. Have a look at them and prepare a list. Okay. A list like this. Okay. Something like this. Go ahead. Like you are in a group. You know the meaning of group, right?
31 for the substructure.
Substructure. Substructure earthworks, whatever you call it.
What's the name of it?
Name of what? Another. How many groups we have? You are together? All 5 of you? 6 of you? What happened to these? Nobody likes them. See, that's why I made the groups for time project myself. Now this would happen, 6 and 2. These 2 are happy, these 6 are happy. Right? We have enough of this. You do it like last time. You make a list like this, and then you upload it. First one in books. Say October and RM2, right? We just need a list, okay? You don't need to calculate anything. Just look into the relevant sections and look for the items. That's it. Yes, whatever. Go back there. Go back there. Go back there.
The previous one.
This one?
Not this one.
This one?
Yeah, yeah.
But this one does not have all the items. Just an example. That's clear. Here. In these sections. Section 1. See now which one is what you think. Which work sections are related to your items? Yes.
سووا جدول نفسه يعني نقفلها
What?
اكتب سبستراكشر واكتب الايتمز كلها واليونتس والكود وتحصلها في الالوان المفروض يعني
We need a list like the one which I showed behind. Okay. You have to just pick the item from NK units, which you will consider in the artwork of but not from your. Okay. Let me. Okay. You go to the table of contents. Table of contents. Section.
foundation
Table of contents in which universe? This you see work sections for everything. If we have to go to the specific work section. See? Clickable. Indian book where I think you will not cannot even copy and paste. Okay, but keep in mind you have a basement as well, and so on. So you may have to like look into the list and see which section. Maybe they can do more than one section. Yes. Okay, we don't need the details right now. We don't need the details right now. Just you go to the item and you see, okay, this should be included in the artwork. Okay, you put in the list, what are the units and what is the clause I'm following. That's it.
Doctor, do I need to describe it a little bit? Or like example from the excavation, do I put the backfill also? Or what the
Same item or different? SNM. The backfilling is the same item or different? This is what you have to see. And you are asking me. I may say, okay, do it with the SNM. Somebody else may say, no, backfilling is different. You have to, that's why you have SNM. NRM. Yes, done. Yeah, you can search more, it will take you to that website.
Doctor,
No, no, you are giving me the standard, which section?
Like the
What section? You are at what section, something, something? No, go up, go up, go up and do this. Going up, okay, down, down.
don't look.
Okay, let's start with this.
Instructions.
Yes, done. Done? No? The section, the work section number. Take 5 BD for every item. Yes?
Okay. Okay. How much?
You, for you.
Yes.
You got a fine or something?
Yes. Huh?
If I get a fine. Yes, done. Go. What should I tell you? Second? Done. When you will tell me to prepare a set, then we cannot talk to them. What is it? What? Yeah, of course. Where are you going? Post office. Post and okay. $1 if you want to go. No? I have to give. Coming at 4 o'clock, right? You don't have to write NRN here. Put the NRN on the top because all of them are NRN. Good, good. Okay, queries. I gave you example of a query earlier on as well, and I believe lecture 1 or lecture 2, that if there is something missing or something conflicting between the drawing and specification, you will write it, and that writing is done officially. Okay, that writing is done officially. So it's not like, okay, I will send a WhatsApp message to the consultant and he will tell me. No, this is not enough. Okay, this is not enough. Okay, so you have to do it officially, because whatever he will say will affect your cost. Okay, whatever the organization, the client, or the consultant is saying will affect your cost. So if you do it and later on he says, no, I meant this, or you get the point.
This is
Okay.
query, doctor.
Sorry?
What's the definition of query? I don't get it.
Query means a question.
Okay.
You're looking at the drawings and you found that something is missing, something has a problem. So then you do the query. Okay. So during the taking of process, if you need any clarification, any item missing, you will do a query list, and it is sent to the consultant normally, because he is the one who is designing it, and he could be one person or he could be a team. Like it could be a team and a company. Okay. So a query list is very important for making sure the measurements are accurate. Okay. And this list should include all items which have a problem or which have anything missing. Something like this. Okay. So your questions and queries are on this side, and the answers are on the other side, and who gave the answers is also mentioned. Okay. So even if you see the taking of list which I showed you earlier, this one, you see the name of the person. You see the name of the person, right? Okay. If you go back to the drawings which you have taken, you will see the name of the client, the name of the contractor organization, the name of the person who made these drawings. So you will see the names. Okay. Why the names are important? Why don't we just write the value? I need this value. That's it. There's the value. Done. Why should I put who gave me the value? We already asked him. He gave you the answer. So why don't I just write the answer? Why I keep on putting names and designations everywhere in my drawing, in my specification, in my plan, in my BOQ? You will always see this. Why? Because responsibility. Okay. So responsibility is the main thing here. Okay. So what is the size of door 1? It was missing. What diameter reinforcement ring in column stirrups, and that is given here. And who gave? You can see there are two different people. Okay, so this is another example. So we have a basement wall, okay, and you can have water on this side, so there could be some waterproofing needed here, okay, to make sure the water does not enter the concrete or the blocks. So this is mentioned. Okay, this is your drawing. Okay, now waterproofing can be of different types. Okay, so the type is not mentioned, but something is mentioned, which is what? Section of the specification, right? Okay, so if this is mentioned, the type is not mentioned here, but the section of the specification is mentioned. I'll go there first. You will not put it in the query list. Okay. Like something what you are doing now. You have the standard in front of you and you ask, doctor, what should I do? Like, where should I click? What page number? Okay? What's my point? You have the source in front of you, you have to do your homework first before you go back to somebody else. What's my point? Okay? So, you will go to the specification, and in the specification you found that the type is still not mentioned. Okay, so then he prepared this query list. Okay, clarify the specified type and brand of waterproofing membrane. Okay, so it's not like a plaster, it's like a sheet. Okay, membrane means like a sheet. So its type and make and product is not mentioned, and even here in the specification section is not mentioned. Okay, so you may come across a situation where something is not mentioned in the drawing, but there is a possibility it could be mentioned in the specification. So it's your job to look into the specification. Okay.
That's your mistake. You're not looking right.
So you cannot write, oh, your drawing is saying specification section this. The specification is 300 pages. Please tell me where to look. Page number. Okay, this is wrong. Okay, when you are taking off the quantities, now drawings, taking off list, specifications, all done. Okay, now we go to the real gist of the work, which is actually calculating. Okay, for calculation we use this sheet, which is called as a dimension paper. Okay, this is called as a dimension paper. You can see there are 4 columns here, right? No? How many? 9, 8. Somebody say 10. How many? 9. Okay, agreed? Okay. Huh? 4? 4 are repeated. 4 are repeated. Okay, and this is just, I don't know if you guys do it in school, like near school. Yeah. You could put a line on the side of the paper, not to. Okay. This is that line. It has nothing, empty. Okay. Because you will attach the sheet in a file or something. Okay, so we need this side to be empty. Okay, so nothing is hidden. Okay, so the first column is called the time sync column. Okay, time sync means multiplying. Okay, multiplying. You write the numbers here. How many times? Okay, this thing, how many times? Okay, so you have a beam and you have 3 beams which are of the same type. So they will multiply by 3, right? Okay, so time sync means multiplying. If there is an item which is repeated, the number of repetitions will go in column number 1. Okay, the number of duplicates, the number of copies will go in column number 1. Okay, column number 2 is called the dimension column, where you will put the dimensions. Okay, column number 2 you will put the dimensions. Actually, if I am talking about a beam, so beam has height, width and length, right? So these will go in column number 2. Okay, all 3 of them will go in column number 2. Okay, there. Okay. Then we have the squaring column. Okay, the squaring column is where you will take the values from column 1 and 2 and multiply them and put them there. So you have an item which has one set of this item is 2 cubic meters, and you have 3 of them, right? So you will write 3 here, and there will be dimensions here, right? Okay. So 2 multiplied by, or 3 multiplied by those dimensions. The answer will come column number 3. Got it? So column number 3 is a product of 1 and 2. Got it? Column number 3 is a product of 1 and 2. And there is one item which is not repeated. Okay.
Can you give example?
I will give example. No problem. Later on. There are many examples. Okay. And then we have column number 4, which is to write any description according to the method, the standard method. Got it? Okay? Sure. So, and then this will be repeated. Okay? So we want to have less number of sheets, that's why 2 sets. Okay? So the first one is time sync, the second one is dimension, the third one is squaring, which is the product of 1 and 2, and the fourth one is describing the item according to the standards. Okay? Okay. So if you are measuring something in cubic meters, okay? Cubic meters means it has how many dimensions? 3 dimensions. Okay? So you see the first example there, 3 dimensions. Okay? It's not a complete table. I'm going term by term, one by one. Okay? So it's easier to understand. So we need 3. Okay? The second term is square meters. Okay? How many items? How many dimensions? 2. You see 2 items here. 2 dimensions here. Okay? Linear means 1. Number means 1. Number is the dimension, right? 1. Okay. And testing is like you wrote it, right? Soil testing, right? So testing is an item. It will have a cost. Okay. But it's like how many times you are doing it, right? Okay. So this is like one item. Okay. So here you can here these are the items where you tell the contractor, okay, I will give you this much for this whole thing. Okay, so it's like lump sum price. Have you heard about it? Lump sum, full, total. When you go to car mechanic, he will tell you your car has oil problem and tire problem and this problem. Then you tell him what? Just tell me the total price. This is called an item. Okay? Total of the whole thing without any quantities. Okay? So all type of testing, one item. Got it? Okay? This means the whole testing of the whole work, one item. Got it? Clear or not? But in the end it is one, right? It is one. You will only have one dimension. Okay? Now if you look at the first and the second example and the third example, they are all numbers, right? They are all numbers. Okay? Somebody may take them all together. Okay? Somebody may read it like this. 3 to 1 cubic meters. Okay? So what are we putting here? How do I know this is separate than this one?
Line.
The line. Okay? So whenever the dimensions of one item finish, you put a line. Okay? And the line is not to do sum or average or anything, just a line. Line shows end of the item. Got it? Line shows what? End of the item. Okay? You don't have to do any summation or average or anything. Okay. Yeah, in the here, now I have written here cubic meter, square meters. I've written on the side, right? Do you see in the sheet? Okay, I defined the columns here, right? Do you see any column for writing the dimensions? Cubic meter, square meter, meter, number. Do you see it here? No. Okay, so this is understood. Okay, and somebody wants to check if you are doing it correct or not. Where should he look at? So you're writing something which is cubic meter here in column number 2. You wrote 3 dimensions. I want to check if it is correct or not. Maybe this item could be in meters only. You are doing wrong. So how would I check? The description. Okay, the description will mention the item, and you can go to the standard methods NRM and you can check if this item is in cubic meters or square meter or what. Clear? Clear? Okay. Okay, if you have multiple dimensions, then this is the procedure or this is the notation we follow. Okay, the first will be the horizontal length, the second will be horizontal width, and the third will be vertical depth. Okay, if there are 2, then horizontal first and vertical later. Got it? Okay, the order is horizontal, horizontal, vertical. Okay, if there are 2, then horizontal, vertical. Okay, the first one is horizontal length, the second one is horizontal width. What's the difference between them? What's the difference between horizontal length and horizontal width? How do I know this is width, this is length? Where is XY? We are talking about construction site, not a graph paper. Rida can say this is my X.
Yeah, height is
Abdul Aziz will say this is my X.
bigger,
Huh?
length is longer.
Length is bigger. Okay. So the bigger length first, then the smaller horizontal, then the vertical. Clear? Okay. Nobody said how would I know vertical and horizontal? Huh? You know that, right?
If it's same, just put it.
Sorry.
If it's a square, just put both. Doesn't matter.
Very good. Happy. Okay. So let us prepare a dimension paper for this. Okay, and you can see the standard rule from the manual again. Okay. So if I want to prepare a dimension paper for this, okay, so I need the columns, right? Okay, how many columns?
4.
4?
Triangle.
5. Very good. Okay, the first one I will keep blank. Okay, second one. Okay, what do I write here? It was a time thing, right? Okay, the number. Okay, how many we have? Calculate the volume of concrete to fill in this foundation trench. So it's only 1. Did not say okay. So I can write 1 here. I can leave it empty. It means the same thing. Means the same thing. Okay. Then what should I write here? Dimensions. Okay. How?
L 10 meters.
10. Then
0.7.
7. 0.2. Should I add something here? No? Sure? Meters? No?
You have to add meters.
I have to add meters.
Yeah.
Why? Because boss is saying.
No.
Not
How
bar.
shall I know what is it?
Hmm?
Is it meter or centimeter?
Is it meter or centimeter? We don't know. Okay. I don't know how to make it, but let's see. I'll simply put a line. Okay. I need this, right? Okay, I need this line because this is the end of the item, right? Okay, so I need this line. Clear or not? Everybody? Yeah? Okay, what was the next column? Square column, right? Squaring column, okay? Squaring column was the product of 1 and 2, okay? 1 has nothing, it's 1 because it's 1, okay? So fine. And 2 is 10 into 0.7 into 0.2. How much?
1.4.
Huh? You guys are not into calculators. I should trust you, right? I should trust you. Okay, and what was here?
Volume of concrete.
Volume of concrete. Okay. Because that will make our life too easy, which we don't want. I don't want. Okay. So we have to go to the SMM to see how it is written. Okay.
So in the question,
Sorry.
doesn't have standard method to write.
Hmm? If everything goes in the question, then everybody will be getting A, right? We don't want this. Okay, where is this item now? Tell me. Some of you have already seen it, right? Where is this item? It's a what?
Plus section 8.
8 underpinning.
Yeah, 8 of 8.
8 is underpinning. What is underpinning? It was in 8.
Anyways.
Hmm?
Anyways.
No, I saw it. Huh. I even saw that how to write it for the. Sorry? 11 was what I was looking at. So I go to 11. You have in situ concrete, reinforcement.
Can you check 8?
8.
Yes.
What was 8?
It was underpinning what we saw concrete there.
8 is this one. Backfilling, underside, excavation. Somebody wrote for foundation. Who was that in the list? Somebody wrote foundation. Two of the groups.
Foundation was 7
Foundation was where? Piling. Piling.
Six.
6.
Yeah.
No, there was something about the foundations.
Okay, did you open ours? Because I think it's different. Five.
5.5. Site clearance, retaining excavated material, filling. It was in concrete. It was in concrete. It was not in this one.
It's not same.
Sorry?
It's not same. The work, this is five, number 5, sedation and filling.
Which one?
This one.
How is this possible? Same, right? October 2021 and LM2, right?
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, no, we have some different numbers. Concrete was in 8 October, it's not here.
That's its foundation.
Foundation excavation.
Yeah.
We're looking for foundation concrete.
Foundation concrete.
Yeah, something like this. This one. Trench filling or trench foundation. This one. Okay. So you will see if, for example, now we are doing this one, right? Trench filling. Okay. So it will be. You will go back here. Okay. Now you will write for trench filling. Okay, and yeah, they will not. In some cases, you will see that they are mentioning that what details should be included here. Okay, in this case, they are not mentioning it. Okay, so this was the thing, anyways. Okay, so this is like a small dimension sheet. There is no reinforcement, otherwise we would have seen the dimension for the reinforcement as well. Okay, now you see here we have 3 linear dimensions here. Okay, why I'm saying 3 linear? Why not as a cubic meter? How do I know it's 3 linear? Because of the line. Okay, so we see three of them, and they are for, you can see the item here in the description. It's a structured timber floor joist. What is the joist? This one is the joist, this bar. Okay, the support structure. Listening to each other or to me? Okay, so a joist is a wooden bar like this. Okay, and I mentioned it earlier as well. We are only mentioning here what? The length. Okay, 3.6, 3.9, 4.2 is what? The length. Okay, so what else do you need? You need the cross section, right? You need the cross section. The cross section is, you can see here, it is fixed. Okay, it is written with the item. Okay, so whenever you are mentioning linear dimension, doesn't mean the third one is gone, is somewhere there. Okay, but we don't need to mention it. Got it? Okay, so all of them are mentioned together because all of them are of the same material, same type. Or should I stop talking? Okay, so all of them are since of the same type, so that's why they are written together. Okay, this one is excavation for a foundation trench. Okay, so you see the length, and then the width, and then the height. Okay, and the item is mentioned here, and with the item, the depth is mentioned. Okay. Now, why did we mention the depth here in the description? Why the depth is mentioned here in the last column? You already wrote it here, right?
Because it's 2 meter. How?
Huh?
It's 2 meter.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Why say 1.2?
This is what I'm asking. Yes, tell me. This is correct. It is correct.
So the maximum is 2 meter.
Yeah. But why did I mention anything about the depth here? If the actual depth is written, the description says is a foundation trench, excavation for a trench, which is 2 meter or less. Okay. Do I need to say this?
Maybe.
Why maybe?
Because in some, I don't know how to say it.
Can in any universe 1.2 meter be more than 2 meters? Some people are thinking yes, maybe. If I go to Mars, maybe. Huh? Maybe this. We will send you there. You know. Okay, you get the point. It is written because of the standard method of measurement. If you go to excavation of foundation trench, okay, you will see there in the description, they are mentioned that if you are doing a foundation trench, then you have to mention in the description that this foundation trench is less than 2 meters for no reason. Okay, so where it comes to the standard method, we follow it blindly. Okay, you don't say since I wrote 1.2 meters already, people will know it is less than 2 meters. No, we will write it. Why? Because it is written in the standard method. Got it? Clear? Okay. So even if you see a conflict, you will follow the standard method. Okay. And this one, what are the units here? What are the units?
Square.
Meter square. Okay. And this is what now it is finishing to the walls. Okay. So we have two walls here. They are finishing. So the first of each dimension is the length. The second of each dimension is the height. Horizontal and vertical, right? Okay. And what is the description here? That it is 2 meter thick plaster. So sorry, not 2 meter, 2 millimeter. Oh, no, sorry, 2 coats. Sorry, 2 coats of plaster. Okay, so they do it in layers. Coats means layers. So 2 layers of plaster. Okay, and to the block work. So maybe this wall can be made up of concrete. It can be made up of steel. It can be made up of wood. Okay, so if you go in the standards, you will see different materials for the wood, for the wall. Okay, so you have to mention what type of wall on which we are doing the plaster. Got it? Okay, so and to block work which has a base of more than 600 millimeters wide. Okay, so the width of the block work is more than 600 millimeters. Okay, will it affect the quantity of plaster? Huh? No. Width of the block. Third dimension. You are doing plaster here. It will not affect. Okay, but we are writing it because. We are writing it because standard method says that you have to write the width. Okay, and it should be divided according to the width of the block work. Okay, what else? Yeah, this is a door knob. Okay, this item, not the door, only the knob. Okay, so you can see the numbers are mentioned here. Okay, 4, 1 and 2. Okay, both of them are numbers. 4 is a number, 2 is a number. Total 6. I can add them, right? I can add them because they are same type. Okay, and the description is mentioned here. What type of knob we have, material, and it's for doors, and it will be fixed with screws. Okay, so everything is mentioned here. And then these are for the excavation trench. Okay, so you see two trenches are there, each with a different dimensions. Okay, but again the description is same. Okay, the description is same. Okay, so I mentioned about the time sync column. What was the time sync column? Huh? Multiply column. Okay, the number you have, the number of duplicates you have, the number of replicates you have. Okay, so if you have internal doors which are exactly same, so you will write the numbers of internal doors which are exactly same in the time sync column. Okay, which is column number 1. Okay, so you can see here I have doors of this size in this thickness. How many doors I have? 1. But how many times it will be repeated? 40. Okay, so maybe they are in different rooms, so that's why I'm putting 14. Maybe they have 14 rooms, okay, or 14 floors or something. Okay, so different methods of counting, but they are all identical in size, in material, and so on and so forth. Okay, you see another method of time sync here, which is with 2 numbers. Okay, so you see a 2, then a slash, then a 4, right? Now with after every number we are putting a slash, right? After every number we are putting a slash. Okay, so 2, this means 2 into 3 into the whole thing. Okay, 2 into, you have to multiply them. Okay, whatever is in the time sync column will be multiplied. Okay, so if there is only 14 here, I multiply 14 with this one. If there are 2 numbers here, I will multiply both of them. Okay, so 2 into 3 into the dimensions. Got it?
2 for each one, right?
Huh?
It's like 2 for each one.
2 for each one. Okay. So for example, I have what now? Screed beds and topping. So on top of the roof, they do some insulation, right? This insulation is called as screeding. Okay. This insulation is called as screeding. So maybe if you see, so they are what? Yeah. So the first 2, they are building 2 villas. In both of them, they are using the same type of screeding. Okay. So the first 2 you see here. Okay. This is for the 2 villas you have. Okay. Because there are 2 different structures, right? Okay. So that's why 2 is mentioned here. Okay, and then the 3 is the actual number you need in each villa. Okay, so 2 is the number of villas you have, 3 is the number you need in each villa. Got it? And the second one again same. 2 for 2 different villas, and 4 is the number you need in each villa. Got it? Clear? Clear? Now the question is, why didn't we write 6? Why 2/3? Yes.
It's a ratio.
It's a ratio, right? Yes. Yes.
So you can know it's for the each floor.
Okay, this is called detailing. Okay, if you write 6, somebody may get confused. He will not know from where it is coming. Okay, so we want to provide more details, so somebody wants to check, he can check. Okay, and he can understand why it is so much. Okay, if you see 6, but you have only 3 rooms. Okay, so you look at 6 and you have 3 rooms. It will become confusing, right? To avoid this confusion and give him the instant response, we write the numbers one by one. Okay, so instead of writing 6 and 8, because they belong to 2 different structures, we are writing 2 into 3 and 2 into 4. Got it? Okay, so in time sync you will see this type of thing as well. Okay, there is something which is called as dotting. This is also in the time sync column. Okay, this is also in the time sync column. Okay, so you will see a number, a dot, and then the other number. A dot means plus. Simple. A dot means plus. Okay, and a slash means what? Ratio, right? I'll kill you. Take care of it. Slash means what?
Dot. Oh,
For each.
ratio.
Doctor, what's the one?
Multiplication.
multiplication, right?
Doctor, what's the point of that? We can just
Yeah.
modify.
Sorry.
Yeah, what's the point?
What was the point of adding 2/3? Say and
No,
not
okay,
6.
that makes sense because.
That makes sense, it doesn't make sense.
No, how?
Okay.
Yeah, we could just write
Doctor, our brain is not functioning. Close more than 100.
Yeah, I'm finishing. This is the last one. Just finishing this part. Okay. That's why I said take this. This is for functioning of the brain. Okay. Dot X, so you wrote 2 or 4 for some item. Okay. Later on, you found that you have missed one extra item somewhere. Okay. Or you did not miss, but now the client is saying, I need one more. I need a back door as well, for example. Okay. So you missed it earlier. So we don't do cutting and crossing and so on. Okay. So you put one dot and so on. Okay. So if you are missing one item, you put one dot before, not after, before. Okay. The missing item will come before the dot and then the actual original number. Okay. So 1.4 means it was actually 4 and then somebody increased one more item. It doesn't mean the other way around.
So we should.
You cannot say it was 1 and then I added 4 items. That means they should fire you.
No,
Like, how can you miss
wait,
4
we
items?
know that the dot is multiplication. Why
Right.
the quantity?
They told me quantity is very easy. They told me quantity is very easy, so you have to do these things so everybody doesn't get an A and some people get S as well and so on. So, out of my hands. Okay.